Morning, all my YouTubers, all my blue collar workers, all my union members, all my people that's just trying to get their life together. I'm here at school again. We had advanced rigging yesterday. Today we got advanced systems, and I think we have advanced advanced rigging again on Friday. So that'll close out the week for me. They're talking about going to 1 day of school a week, which would probably actually be better because otherwise we don't get paid for school, so we got a whole week you don't get checked. So if we went to 1 day a week, it'd just be a shorter check, but you get a check every week. So I don't know. They talking about doing that next year. So, anyways, I've been thinking about this for a while now, about leadership, about what it takes to be a leader. Now, I've been in leadership positions in prison and the gang life. It's kind of just like, I don't know. It's not something I ever really seek out. It's just kind of something that it fell into place. Like it wasn't. I don't really know how to explain it. I wasn't looking to be a leader. Like that was never like something that was a goal for me. Obviously, it is in a work environment. Like I'm trying to advance myself. I'm trying to get to the highest pay. So in order to do that, for me, it's gonna be trying to get me a foreman spot. And it just seems like there's a couple key things if you really want to be a leader that I've noticed. Now it's not just from me, not just saying personal stuff from me, what I've done, but I was around a lot of people in prison and other places who were leaders. And I know this is taking it from a criminal element, whatever, but there's always lessons to be learned in any situation. So one of the biggest things I've seen if you really want to be a leader is you have to be able to get respect from the people around you. People want to look up to somebody that they respect. Me, I've always done that by trying to be a fair person. Like I always try to I listen to what other people say. I don't try to be the only one getting to shine. So if I'm with a group of people and I hear something from somebody else that makes sense, I'm not just gonna try to override them just because I want to be the boss. I don't want to be the bossy person. Like there's a lot of people that have a lot of different knowledge, and sometimes being a leader is being able to assess what other people have to say, and if they got good ideas, good good things they're saying, you got to give them credit for that sometimes, and that's gonna get you respect. I know a lot of people, especially in the criminal world, like they think that being feared is the most important thing to being a leader. And I've seen some of that, but it's not necessarily always true because when people would fear you, they're gonna do things you wouldn't expect them to do in order to try to get you out of the way. Because nobody wants to live in fear. Like they're gonna try to undermine you. They're gonna try to do things to try to get you out of there so they don't have to be scared no more. So fear is not always the best tactic if you want to be a leader. I've always found that being respected and earning respect, you're going to earn that leadership position. It's not going in there and telling people like I'm the boss now. It doesn't work like that, not long term. So that's one of the big things is you want to get the respect around you. So now let's put that in perspective in a work environment. If you go to work and you're constantly trying to better yourself, and here's another thing too, leading by example is also another way you're going to get respect. So if you're going to be a leader, you kind of got to hold yourself to a higher standard, because the majority of people, they really don't want to lead. They don't want the responsibilities involved with that. They're more willing to just sit back and let somebody else make the decisions as long as it doesn't get in their way or make their life harder. Most people are more than willing to sit back and let somebody else be the leader. And that's kind of how it always fell into my lap, is because a lot of times when decisions had to be made and everybody just be standing around looking at each other, nobody wanted to speak up. Nobody wanted to throw some idea out there and have it be shot down, or they didn't want to look dumb if people didn't respect their opinion on it. And I've always been the type of person, I'm confident, I'm gonna speak up, I'm gonna say something right or wrong. This is how I feel, this is what I think. And if anybody has a question of it, like I got no problem explaining where I'm coming from. So that's kind of how it always felt to me. And then, I had just gained respect from being a fair person. So on a job site, it's a similar thing. Like I work with a lot of different people that know a lot more than me. And sometimes you just got to sit back and listen and learn and watch and see who's doing what. And I got a lot of respect for a lot of the foremen I've worked for, just because I see how they carry themselves. Like, if you work with somebody that's a foreman or a boss at a non-construction job, I guess it would just be a boss. Like, when people are always talking behind their back and always got something bad, negative to say about them, or they don't like their decisions, or they don't like the way they're carrying themselves, it causes a hostile work environment. But when people are open and honest and fair about things, people don't tend to have that back talk behind the back. Like, they'll, if they know that they can come bring something to your attention, they're gonna say it to your face. So I've worked with a few foremen now that I really got a lot of respect for. They're really smart. They know their stuff. They don't treat anybody unfairly. They try to be fair, and I can see why they're in a leadership position. And here's another thing too: is like, even if you're trying to be a leader, if you want to be a leader, you don't have to be the leader. You can be a leader. You don't have to be the boss of all bosses. You can be the boss of yourself. You can just be somebody that, maybe you're just somebody that a boss above you respects and comes and asks your opinion on things. Maybe you just have people, like, I'm not even in a position to be a boss. I'm still an apprentice. I'm nobody, but I do have journeymen and other apprentices that I feel they respect my opinion on things. They'll ask my opinion on things. They'll let me make plans, and they'll run with it. And hey, sometimes if I ain't right, they'll say something, and I can accept that. It's not my way or the highway. It's we're a team, and if you want to be a leader, you got to recognize your team sometimes, and realize that just because you're a leader, or you want to be a leader, or because you're in a position where people respect you or look up to you, that doesn't mean that you know everything. That doesn't mean that you're going to be right in every decision you make. And if you want to be a leader long term, you got to look at how it benefits everybody, the choices you're making. And sometimes it's just a matter of speaking up. I mean, sometimes you just got to be confident in your approach. You can't just speak on things that you haven't really thought out. You got to kind of be well planned out before you say something. Like, sometimes holding your tongue and not saying nothing is more powerful than just running your mouth. So, I mean, that's something that it could be good for any aspect in life. It ain't just about job. It ain't just about criminal lifestyle. Obviously, like, that's kind of, I'm not trying to glorify it. It's just, that's the life I lived for so long. That's where a lot of my life experience comes from. But that doesn't mean that there's not good lessons in it. So everybody out there want to be a leader. I mean, you always got to be a leader yourself, no matter what. But if you want to try to enhance your position in life, enhance your position at work, sometimes you got to take the reins, and you got to try to push a little bit above and beyond. So don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. Try to hold yourself to a higher caliber than those around you, and don't look down on people, because everybody has different ambitions and everybody has different ideas. What's good for them might not be good for you. What you're saying might not be right for them. Doesn't mean that either one of you is wrong. You know what I mean? You're just doing what's right for you. But in a leadership position, sometimes you just got to pay attention and be confident to speak, and just learn how to, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to describe. You kind of got to learn what people want, what people are trying to do, and learn how to deal with each individual, and figure out how to make everybody work in a cohesive unit. To me, that's what a leader is. To me, a leader is somebody that can get a group of people to all move in the same direction. And if you make it like it's almost like a game, like, come on, we can do this, like almost daring people to get more done, or to push themselves more than they would if they didn't have somebody, and don't make it seem like it's a bad thing. Like, I'm always going to work. Every time we got a project, if I got journeymen I'm working with or whatever that they're not in a good mood, or they're not really feeling what we're doing, like, I'll speak up. I'll just start talking spit, trying to get everybody in a good mood. Like, man, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. Let's go. And you try to get that negative energy out of the group so that everybody's on the same page and everybody's having a good day. That goes a long way. That doesn't mean I'm a leader right now. Not recognized leader, I guess. In my mind, I'm always a leader. This is my story. Everybody else is just a character in it. But at the end of the day, if you want to advance yourself, I mean, that's where you're gonna get your highest pay. For me, that's where I'm gonna get some kind of sense of fulfillment that I'm doing something right, when I can have other people that look up to me and respect me, and see the potential of what we could do together as a group. Like, because to me, it's always going to be a group. Like, I can't do nothing on my own. It's going to be everybody coming together and making things happen. So I don't know, just my little daily rant. So hope everybody out there is having a good day. All the future leaders out there, just have confidence, man. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. You just got to build that confidence, build that respect, and it's going to take you a long way. So with that, I'll sit here, drink my Monster, and wait for school to start.